This is from the World Health Organization's website. Their document is called A World at Risk. It's an annual report on global preparedness for health emergencies. Oh, thanks. Thanks, World Health Organization. And it came out in September 2019, so 2019, so last year, before any of this happened. And you might notice a big thing that they like to use as an image for the coronavirus right on the front cover. And also, very interesting, a lot of people all wearing masks. Well, you can read through the whole document. We'll have the link down below. This is all factual information, fact checkers. And here's their progress indicators by September 2020. So these are the things they want to be already in process by September of this year. And one of the points says the United Nations, including WHO, conducts at least 2 system-wide training and simulation exercises, including one for covering the deliberate release of a lethal respiratory pathogen. An exercise. If you haven't been paying attention, anytime the government or any sort of government-related, in this case you can call it a sort of a crony capitalist controlled government sort of related organization like the WHO, whenever they say they're doing an exercise and they say where or when, run, get the F out of there. Every time it's the actual thing. This has happened countless times. In 9/11, 9/11. The fact checkers. I'm gonna love it when we're fully off YouTube, when they totally shut us down. Then I can actually just totally say what I mean. But in the meantime, we want this to get out to as many people as possible. So I'm trying to be careful that we don't get too easily taken down. But during, about 20 years ago, when a bunch of skyscrapers in New York fell down, 3 actually, most people don't know that. NORAD, the North American Air Defense BS crap terrorist organization, planners stated that several exercises were fully or mostly planned as of 9/11. These include Vigilant Guardian and Vigilant Overview, both command post exercises. It is clear that at least one of these planned exercises, Vigilant Guardian, was actually being conducted on that day. Additionally, another war game called Apollo Guardian was running on that day as well. Yeah, you can look it up. Numerous people have said that numerous exercises were being run for a terrorist attack on that day, 9/11. And the attacks were, or the exercise was, to prepare and plan and prepare for airplanes being used as missiles against skyscrapers. Man, the exact same day they were running 2 exercises, amazing. And even with the Boston Marathon bombing hoax, they did the exact same thing. I remember actually watching that day, and the Boston Police Department put out a tweet or something like that earlier before it happened, saying they were running a exercise. The planned exercise has eerie similarities to the police investigation that led to the capture of the alleged, which they definitely were, they were patsies, whose images were caught on video cameras and who were captured after a car chase and shootout. Yeah, sure they were. In the training scenario, investigators participating in Urban Shield would have to track down footage of the bombers caught by street surveillance cameras and the phones of witnesses. They would have to call on intelligence analysts to figure out which terrorist cell might be threatening the city. In the scenario, the terrorists would flee police in stolen cars they would dump in cities outside Boston, which would compel detectives from different jurisdictions to cooperate and share intelligence. And this was actually reported in the Boston Globe. The real thing happened before we were able to execute, said a law enforcement official with direct knowledge of the planned exercise. Yeah, the real thing keeps happening every time they have an exercise. So here we have the World Health Organization saying they're going to run 2, notice that 2, same as Kill Bill Gates. he's referred numerous times as this is epidemic 1, and soon we're going to be coming out with epidemic 2.
Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
And it says right in the World Health Organization document that they plan to run 2 exercises during this year, as of right now, and they already have started the first one. And as we can see, it basically is an exercise. It's mostly an exercise in misinformation and propaganda, which puts out all kinds of scary stuff that gets the whole world scared, even though there isn't really an actual epidemic. And I got this off of a site that I just found that I didn't know about called Amazing Polly. That's one of the good things about some of these things happening, is you get to find out about some other great people. Looks like she has a great channel, and she actually had, a few days ago, the Hell Organization had like a fundraiser, and it was all, I don't watch any of their stuff. It's all disgusting. But apparently all the world's leaders, misleaders is what they are. Everything's the opposite of what they say it is. All pledged. And it looks like they read off the exact same script, the exact same things. And then they all gave Bill Gates, Kill Bill Gates, $8 billion that wasn't theirs, actually. No, it's so nice to pledge stuff that isn't yours. It's money stolen from the people in their area, extorted. And Bill got $8 billion. Nice job, Bill. Wow, that investment of like $1 billion or so that you put into all this stuff's already paid off 8-fold. And as soon as those vaccines are ready, holy cow, 7 billion vaccines every year or twice a year, I think he even said once. That's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars. You're going to like triple your net worth in the next year or two. Amazing, amazing little scheme you got there, Kill. But here's the pledges of the misleaders. And before I play it, well, actually, I'll play this first. So here's the pledges of the misleaders. And it's, look at them all reading off their script, the exact same thing.
Better diagnostics, treatments, and a safe and effective vaccine.
COVID-19 diagnostics, therapeutics and vaccines.
Largement du développement et du déploiement rapide de diagnostics, vaccins et traitements efficaces.
Universal access to vaccination, treatment and diagnostics.
Equitable access to new COVID diagnostics, therapeutics and vaccine.
We must all work together on improving diagnostics, accelerating therapies, and ultimately developing a vaccine.
We need to make vaccines, treatment, and diagnostics accessible to everyone.
Vaccines, treatments, and diagnosis will be the most effective way to do it.
We need new diagnostics, vaccines, treatments, and an equal distribution to all.
On equitable access to diagnostics, treatments, and vaccines.
And affordability of the vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics.
In order to develop adequate treatments and vaccine.
Man, that reminds me of watching the news. People think it's like different, they think it's actually real, and they think they're reporting something like honest or true to you, and they actually also think different channels on the television programming are not all part of the same thing. It's pretty unbelievable, especially when you look at this.
Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the trouble and irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
biased. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 It must just all be a coincidence. They must all just have coincidentally thought of the exact same things to say.